Hello, my name is Beth Bennett, and I am a consultant working with Danville Church-based tutorial program. I'm really excited to be able to come with you and meet with you in this way today. Today we're going to be focusing on kindergarten or first grade students. So definitely, if you have a kindergarten or first grade students, the lessons that reading and math lessons that I will be doing today will be geared towards them. We're going to be reading two books today. One is a fiction book and one is a nonfiction book. So I want you to take a minute and think about what is the difference between a nonfiction book and a fiction book. So yes, a fiction book is basically a book that's telling us a story. There are characters in a fiction book, there's usually a problem and a solution that is solved by the end of the book. A nonfiction book, on the other hand, gives us facts. So let's look at our two books that we're going to be reading today. Can you tell which book is the fiction book? Yes, this one is the fiction book. What gives you a clue about that is the fact that it has a cartoon type character that has been drawn. Whereas on this picture, this cover of the book, there's an actual photograph. Um, we're going to start with our nonfiction book, Amazing Caterpillars. To give you a little information about this book, this is going to be a book telling us how caterpillars protect themselves. How do you think a caterpillar may protect themselves? Let's read to find out. Many animals eat caterpillars. Most caterpillars cannot get away from the animals that eat them, but caterpillars have many ways to keep safe. Many caterpillars hide to keep safe. This caterpillar looks like a leaf. Most animals cannot see it. So it is camouflaging here, looking like a leaf. You see right here? This is called a caption. A caption is used to tell us a little bit more about the picture. So this caption is telling us that this caterpillar is called a green caterpillar. Some caterpillars can sting to keep safe. This caterpillar has spikes that sting. Animals do not like the spikes. This caption is telling us about this picture. This is a picture of a saddleback caterpillar. Okay, we've learned two ways that caterpillars can keep themselves safe. Can you tell someone in your room with you? What are two ways that a caterpillar stays safe? Okay, you're right. One by hiding and one by using their spikes to sting. Let's see if we can find other ways that caterpillars keep themselves safe. Some caterpillars taste bad. This caterpillar tastes very bad. Animals do not like to eat it. And this caterpillar is called a cinnabar caterpillar. Would you like to eat something that tastes bad? I wouldn't either. Some caterpillars make a bad smell to keep safe. This caterpillar makes a bad smell when an animal picks it up. This caption is saying swallowtail caterpillar. Some caterpillars do not look like caterpillars. This caterpillar looks like a snake. Animals stay away from it. This one is a tiger swallowtail caterpillar. Can you see how his eyes look? These spots actually look like two eyes to make it look like a snake. Some caterpillars can spit. This caterpillar spits at animals. The spit can sting. This caterpillar is called a pus caterpillar. Now, I want you to see if you can remember all the ways that caterpillars can protect themselves from predators. See if you can think about them. Tell someone in the room. All right, let's review to see how many you got. So we have, they can hide, sting, they taste bad, smell bad, look like a snake, and spit. So this book called Amazing Caterpillars gave us lots of facts that we now know about caterpillars, which is what nonfiction books do. Now we're going to move to our fiction book, which says Caterpillars for Lunch. And in this book, this bird, he decides that he doesn't want to eat worms anymore. He wants to start eating caterpillars. Can you think of a reason that he wouldn't be able to eat a caterpillar? Think back to our nonfiction book about caterpillars. How do they keep themselves safe? Can they keep themselves safe from this bird? Let's see. Bird was hungry, but he was sick of eating worms. I am not going to eat worms today, said Bird. Look at his face. You can tell by the way his eyebrows are pointed down that he's not very happy. Bird saw a black and green caterpillar. Yum, said Bird. I will eat that caterpillar. Do you think the bird is going to eat the caterpillar? Let's see. Bird picked up the caterpillar. It had a bad taste. Yuck, said Bird. This caterpillar tastes bad. Is the caterpillar protecting itself like we read in our other book? Bird saw a green and red caterpillar. Yum, yum, said Bird. I will eat that caterpillar. Bird picked up the caterpillar. Help, said Bird. This caterpillar stings. Do you remember in our other book when we learned that some caterpillars can sting with their spikes? Uh-oh, I think Bird got one of those caterpillars. Bird saw a green caterpillar. Yum, 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 said Bird. I will eat that caterpillar. Do you think Bird's going to eat this caterpillar? Let's think about it. I don't think he's going to eat the caterpillar either because in the first 2 times he couldn't eat the caterpillar. So I don't think on the 3rd time he's going to be able to eat this caterpillar either, but let's read to find out. Bird went to pick up the caterpillar, and then he saw its big eyes. Help, said Bird. You're not a caterpillar. You look like a snake. Is it really a snake? No, you're right. It's not a snake, but it looks like a snake because it looks like it has 2 eyes like we read in the other book. Then Bird saw a big fat worm. I am so hungry, said Bird. Yum, I do like to eat worms. Why do you think that Bird decided to go back and start eating worms again? I think so too. He tried to eat caterpillars, but it just wasn't working out for them. They looked like snakes. They tasted bad. One of them gave him a sting. So he said, you know what? I'm just going to go back to eating worms. That seems safer. Parents, I'm going to give you an idea of something you can do with this. You can rewatch the 2 books and draw a simple, this is called a Venn diagram. It's basically just 2 circles. And what I did is I wrote the titles. The nonfiction book was titled Amazing Caterpillars. The fiction book was titled Caterpillars for Lunch. And you could have your child list in the middle what happens in both books. What's in common? So, for example, you could put something like caterpillars, because caterpillars were in both books. Then on the sides, you put something that happened in just that book. So, in Amazing Caterpillars, what just happened in that book but did not happen in Caterpillars for Lunch, and do the same thing on this side. This helps your child to be able to compare and contrast the two different books, the nonfiction and the fiction book. Moving on to our math lesson, which is also geared for kindergarten and first grade students, we are going to be talking about something called Subitize today, which for some reason I think that's a really fun word to say, Subitize. This is a very important skill for both kindergarten, well, for all students, but it's introduced in kindergarten and moves into first grade. And so basically what it is being able to count being able to say a number of objects without actually counting them. So for example, I can look at this and say 2. I don't need to go 1, 2. So, kiddos, we're going to do a few of these together. You ready? I'm going to put it up really quick and then I'm going to take it down. Let's see if you can do it without counting. Did you get it? 3? Good job. All right, let's try some more. 5? Good. Let's see if you were right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. You ready for another one? 4. You're right. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're doing a great job of being able to say these without actually counting them. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. Are you ready for a hard one? Did you get it? 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You did it. Oh, this one's really hard. You ready? Did you get that one? Let's look at it one more time. 10. Here's the way that I figured this one out. It kind of looks like a dice. So if you're used to playing with dice, you know that a 5 looks like this on a dice. So if I know I got a 5 up top and a 5 at the bottom, I know I have 10 and I didn't need to count all the dots to be able to figure that out. All right, we're going to do 2 more. And these last 2 are kind of tricky too, so let's put on your thinking caps. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you said 8, you got it right. All right, we're going to do our last one. Let's see if you can get your last one right today. Did you say 7? If you said 7, you got it right. Let's count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great job subitizing today. Can you say subitize? Oh, I love to hear that word. Parents, to give you a couple of other ideas, if your child is having difficulty with subitizing, you might want to start with a 10 frame. And I just drew out really quickly. I didn't measure anything. A 10 frame, so it has 5 squares on top, 5 squares on the bottom. And you can use anything you have around the house. So, for example, if you have some beans, some toys, some noodles, and you would just put a certain number. You might want to start small with maybe 3, and you let your child look at it, and you're wanting them to within 1 to 2 seconds, you want them to be able to say it. If you see them counting it, then that's not what we're looking for. They may need to count it at the beginning, but we're trying to get them to be able to do it automatic. And the more you practice it, the more they'll be able to do that. Another option is if you have any dice around, that could be a fun game that you play with them, just rolling the dice and seeing if they can quickly come up with how many it is. And if you have 2, that'd be even better. Thank you for listening today. I really enjoyed being able to interact with you this way. I wanted to thank our community helpers, which are our United Way and Community Foundation. They were able to make this video possible. Thank you, and I'll be seeing you again soon.